Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. We're excited that you've joined us as we have a conversation.
It's time to join the conversation. Welcome to another episode of Hardheaded. I'm your host, Matt Amos. With me, as always, Chet Sears and Troy Trussell. Today, we have what's on Chet's mind, our top 3 supporting actors. Good word brought to us by Troy. Let's just kick it off and let's get this going, Chet. What's on your mind?
What was our top 3 again, Matt?
Top 3 supporting actors.
Supporting actors. So that got me thinking. This actually lines up with an exercise that I have been doing for about the last year. Mental exercise.
Oh, I was going to say.
That's funny. You so funny.
That's good.
Praise be.
When I read through, I call it an epiphany. It's helped me quite a bit in my relationship and with Christ and reading through the Bible. When we read biblical stories of whatever, David and Goliath, I don't know, we read about Paul, we read about Stephen, all this stuff. I had always read through that and put myself in the lead character. How does this apply to me if I were Paul? How does it apply to me if I were David? And what's my Goliath? And all of this stuff that's out there. And if we do that, I think we're missing out on a huge part of the narrative that's in the Bible. Let's take the prodigal son, for instance. You know, sometimes we're like, oh, I'm the one that left, and I'm the one that needs to come back. And then sometimes you're like, well, I'm the father, and I need to be the one that's waiting for that person to come back. And a lot of times, there's a couple passages in there about the jealous brother. Like, am I that person? Am I that character? Am I in this supporting role? What are we missing out because we're only focusing on the main characters? And then, so that's studying the Bible. What's my role in this world? If I think that my role in this world is the lead character, am I going to behave differently than if I think I'm a supporting role? And if you think about it, I'm not only a me, but I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, I'm a brother-in-law, I'm an uncle. I mean, I'm all these other things that are actually supporting roles, not the main character. So then, what do I need to do to be a better supporting role? I've got 9 things that you can do to be better at supporting people. All right,
Nice.
You with me?
You
like how we did that?
Top 9.
You like how we did that?
That was a roundabout way to say I got 9 ways.
I got 9 ways for you to be a better supporting role into.
Troy, listen up. You're going to really need this to up your support on this podcast.
I'm taking notes.
All right, I got this from Tracking Happiness website.
Of course you did.
I did. 9 ways to be supportive, and it was written by my Ali.
Praise be.
Nah. Oh my gosh, this is okay.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
Number 1, leave your opinions at the door. Don't bring your opinions into every situation, because when you do, you're trying to be the main character of the whole deal. You're trying to be the main character of the story if you have something to say about everything. So just leave your opinions out. If you want to be a good supporting person in somebody else's life, you don't always have to share your opinions.
Just listen.
That gets
Which is number 2. Oh, go ahead.
So I'm not the one who goes out and forces my opinion on people a lot of the time. A lot of the time I just listen.
Yeah.
But it gets awkward because I don't have that ability to just sit there and listen without offering something in return, as like I'm listening to you. I empathize with your situation, but then it doesn't feel genuine if I don't.
Here.
I don't know.
I like what you're saying. Here's what I do in those scenarios. Instead of telling them, man, you should learn this from that.
Right.
That's interesting. What do you think you can learn from that?
Turn it around.
Just ask them. And then you're supporting them in finding the answer on their own.
I like that. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Number 2, Troy already got here. Practice active listening. Did you look up that article and you're reading ahead of me?
Nope.
Okay.
I was just saying, like, hey,
That's
if you
one of
can't
the-
shut up, just listen.
Active or empathetic listening. It's an invaluable skill in this, and it'll make people feel supported when you're not just silent when they're spilling their guts or asking for
And that's what I
support.
mean. You know,
Yeah.
I'm listening, but I want to be actively engaged, but I don't want to say, here's what you should do. So
Yeah, well, here's how you stay actively engaged. Maintain eye contact throughout the entire conversation.
I'm terrible at that.
Lean in towards a person.
I
Can't
don't have
do
the legs.
that.
I don't have the legs.
Nod
for
your
that.
head to encourage them to keep speaking.
There you go. You can do that one.
Avoid interrupting the person.
Matt just nodded no at Chet when he wasn't looking. That was
Avoid
hilarious.
interrupting the person. Paraphrase what they
I
just
think
shared.
you two should listen to that last one.
You were trying to
So
interrupt.
you think we should listen to the last one?
Yeah, not
See,
interrupt.
here's what you paraphrase. What you just repeat it back to them, and just, hey, is that clear?
Have
Am I
you got
clear?
to number 3 yet?
No, this is still in the bullet points. Ask thoughtful questions at appropriate moments. Don't rush them, and don't change the topic without addressing what they said. Number 3. So if you're an introvert like me, if you did all of those things, then you're scared. Oh my gosh, they're about to think I'm way involved more than I want to be. Number 3, set boundaries.
I
Might
like
sound counterintuitive.
I like what you just said. I gotta go.
Yeah, well, you got to look.
I'm out.
I don't have the capacity to answer a call at 4 a.m. every night. Right? This is getting too repetitive here. Set some boundaries. Number 4, ask caring questions. If you genuinely don't know how to support someone through a difficult time, continue to ask, what support are you seeking? And then you can determine whether or not that's inside your boundaries or outside. And if it's outside, you could direct them somewhere else to go get those things. Number 5, don't make promises that you can't keep.
Don't write checks your butt can't cash.
That's right.
I about said the same thing.
Like one of those things that I think it's going to get better. Like that's something that you always want to say to help them feel better. You don't know if it's going to get better.
Yeah, it might
man,
not.
It's always darkest before the day.
Read Job.
Yeah. Well,
Like those guys had some
bad.
bad advice.
So number 6, offer practical help. So, if you are just saying, you tell me how to help, how can I help? What do you need me to do? That may not be the best help you could be. That may not be the most supportive thing. You could actually suggest certain things like,
Suck it up.
why don't you exercise? Why don't you get outside more? Why don't you, get a dog? I don't know, something. Number 7, be proactive. You don't want that person that you're trying to support to get to their end of the rope before and they're in distress and then you jump in. You don't need to do that. So you could kind of, they've been calling me about every 2 weeks and I'm 1 week away from the last time they called. What if I reached out right now to keep them from getting into that despair or dealing with that situation? Or if they're about to, let's just say that they have a tough time going home for the holidays. Why don't you give them a call before the holidays? Check in on them. One of those things. Number 8, validate their feelings. So just let them know, yeah, this is a really tough experience. I agree that would be very frustrating, or I understand why you feel in this way. If that's true, don't lie.
And it sounds like this in real life. Oh man, yeah, that would suck,
Bruh.
bro.
Bruh.
That's awful, man.
So, and last one, number 9, refrain from judging or unsolicited advice. So if somebody truly does reach out to you for support, even if it's on something you have a strong opinion about, it may not be the best thing to share your opinion on that one thing. So
Number
push them
1
away.
and number 9 were very similar.
Refrain from judging, and number 1 was
Oh, well, you said something about your opinion.
leave your opinions at the door. Yeah, well, I guess they're similar. They're all on a list of things to do to be more supportive too.
I like that.
That's another similar
Validate
thing.
your feelings, Chet.
So anyway, what if you were to wake up tomorrow and say, you know what, I'm not going to be the main character today. Everybody around me is the main character, and I'm just here to be in a supporting role. much like the top 3 supporting actors that we're going to talk about after we get back from the break.
That's right.
Before we get to that break, though, I do want to make one point. The active listening thing we actually covered in a much earlier episode with Dan Oblinger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Negotiator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that book, that was one of his key things in negotiating is active listening.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Library.
Hey, it's so funny because I cleaned out my office and I still had the patch that he gave us.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You okay, man?
I'm
I'm being proactive and reaching out to you right now.
Well, don't try to give me advice and shut up. But yeah, the inspector.
Hey, you can find
ABC.
You can find Dan.
He's coming or came?
Oh, he's coming.
Okay.
You can find Dan Oblinger on LinkedIn. He's got a pretty prominent following there. It's where he posts a lot of stuff, new books, conferences that he's at, all those kinds of things. So
Awesome.
all right, we'll be right back.
With our top 3 supporting actors.
Are you driving traffic to your website? Do you have an engaging homepage? Better yet, does your homepage have a video? We recently created a video for a client about his business and the services they provide. Since he placed the video on the homepage of their website, he has had a number of clients specifically say they decided to use his services because of that video. At Trussell Media, we help businesses create engaging videos to host on their websites, email to clients, and use in their social media marketing. Contact us if you're interested in creating a video for your homepage today. TrussellMedia.com. Fill out the form at TrussellMedia.com/contact. Let us help you tell your story through video.
And we're back for the 4th time. With our
Hold on. I got a question. Are we back?
We're back with our top 3 supporting actors. Troy,
Yes.
what do you got?
All right, number 3, Alan Rickman.
Oh, I know that.
Is that the
name.
guy that was in MASH?
No, I don't think he was in MASH.
There's another Alan.
He
wasn't
passed
it?
away not too long ago, didn't
He
he?
passed away a few years ago.
Give me some movies he was in.
I can't remember his name in this movie. Why can't I? But he was the bad guy, the main bad guy in Die Hard.
Oh, Snape. And he was in Robin Hood.
He was the
Oh, yeah.
bad guy in Robin
Yeah.
Hood. He was Snape, Severus Snape from Harry Potter.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
He's been in some fantastic things. I don't know if he's ever been in a lead role. He hasn't that I've seen.
I
but
endorse your number 3.
yeah, he's fantastic. He was in that Tim Allen movie where they all went to space. He was one of those.
Armageddon?
No, the comedy one with Tim Allen.
Oh, Galaxy Quest.
Yeah,
I like that
Yeah,
movie.
that was a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some really good
I knew
roles.
So
Yeah, I was thinking Bruce
Hans
Willis.
Gruber.
Still.
Hans Gruber.
Yeah, I was still
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
Bruce
yeah.
Willis on Armageddon.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Oh, was he in that?
Oh, he was excellent in that. He played the judge.
I'd have to rewatch that. I think I saw it in the theater. That was the one with Johnny Depp, right?
Yep.
And I went to it and I didn't know it was a musical.
Oh, it's so good.
But it just threw me off, so I couldn't enjoy it because I'm
man.
not a huge fan of musicals,
Yeah,
especially if I don't know it's a musical and I'm going into it and I'm like, "What, are they going to sing this whole movie? This sucks." Anyway, number 2, Brad Pitt.
Really?
Some of the best movies that he has been in, he has not been the lead actor. He has been supporting roles.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's like the best supporting guy.
I would say he's a better supporting actor than he is a lead role actor.
But that still doesn't mean he's like on the top 3 of all time.
He's on my list.
He's
Chet,
on his
number
list.
2.
And
It's a very subjective list. Everybody's got their own thing.
one of the things I like about, and you guys can go back and watch this, the Ocean 11.
We just watched all 3 of them.
Did you know he on almost every scene he's eating?
Yeah, we talked about that.
He did that
before.
intentionally.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to bring that to the character.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, he was recently in a movie with gosh, why are names just not coming to me? Anyway, he gets his head blown off in this one.
Oh, with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah. But then he gets resurrected because at the end, after the credits or whatever, he's alive
You haven't
again.
seen this Channing Tatum?
Yeah. It's so
Dude,
funny.
It's on Netflix. You need to watch it.
It's
What's it
funny.
called?
I'd have to look it up.
Look it up. You got a computer right there.
All right, I'll look it up when y'all are going. But yeah, like Snatch, great supporting role in that. Fight Club,
I'm with you. I'm with
probably
you.
his best supporting role ever.
I apologize for my comments earlier.
Yeah, he's got some really good ones. Number 1, Gary Oldman.
He's good.
He is such a good actor. He's had some leading roles, but always plays a fantastic.
All the great supporting actors are going to have some leading roles, out
right?
there.
Hopefully, eventually. But yeah, he's just a good bad guy. He's a good guy. You love to hate him, and you love him when he's on the good side. Anyway, fantastic actor. He's been in 40-something movies. Yeah. All right. Who's up next?
Chet.
All right, I'm going to go with my number 3, John Malkovich.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Malkovich.
That dude is hilarious and terrifying. I think we brought it up. You brought up Rounders not too long ago.
Yeah.
His character in Red 2, hilarious. He was in Armageddon, wasn't he? No, that's Buscemi I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Buscemi.
He's a phenomenal actor. In the Line of Fire with Eastwood.
He was a good.
Yeah, it's just so many. You start thinking, and you're like, man, that dude's been around forever.
Con Air.
I'm not a big fan of that movie, but he did a good job in that one.
He did a great job in that.
That was
movie.
a fun movie.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my number 3.
Space Force. He's in that TV show with Steve Carell.
That's funny.
Played a scientist. Super funny in that too.
I got a tie for number 2.
Oh, okay.
It's a first, I believe, in my top 3s to have a tie. And you'll figure out why here in just a second.
Okay.
Robert Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay.
What's their link?
Lonesome Dove.
Lonesome Dove. Phenomenal in Lonesome Dove. But then you go back through Duvall.
The Apostle.
And you look at The Godfather. I think he actually won an Oscar for Best Supporting
Days of Thunder.
role. Days of Thunder. The Lions. The with Michael Caine.
Secondhand Lions.
Yes.
But they were main characters.
Yeah, he's a supporting because he's not. You don't have a main character. He's supporting with Michael Caine.
Yeah, I guess so. Because he about made my list for that one.
Yeah, and then Tommy Lee Jones. You look at The Fugitive. You look at Under Siege with Seagal.
Hunted.
Hunted with Benicio del Toro.
Yep.
Oh, he's
dude. I'm telling you,
Benicio's in a lead role. That movie Reptile. Have y'all watched that?
I haven't
yet?
seen that yet.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
But we'll talk about it when you watch it, dude. It's good.
Anyway, those two dudes, and then just their stuff in Lonesome Dove alone is awesome. The characters that they had there. But there's a ton of stuff that Tommy Lee Jones has been in that's I love.
It's funny. He was in No Country for Old Men.
Yes.
And when he was in that, I remember watching that going, man, that dude aged quickly. He looks old.
He always looked old.
And then I recently saw another trailer.
U.S.
that he's
Marshals.
out,
Yeah.
Like that's a new movie coming out real soon. I'm like, man, I guess he ages pretty well because he still looks as old as he did from No Country.
And then my number 1, Christoph Waltz. And his stuff that he's done with
Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino has been phenomenal, but the Bond villain, the Blofeld. I mean, the dude is just master of his craft, and he makes movies better, so much better.
Yeah.
Honorable mention. I've got an honorable mention that you probably didn't bring up, but Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yep. Let it rain.
Anyway, what he did,
he was good.
If you
Raindrops.
his performance in Along Came Polly. I'm sorry, I'm joking.
Oh yeah, where he sharts.
and then you put his performance in that Mission Impossible, which he was the most villainous of all the Mission Impossible villains. But that his ability in that supporting role was pretty cool. Anyway,
Yeah, he had some. Yeah, he's another one that could just play any character and just yeah. I'm thinking of his Boogie Nights role, and I don't watch that movie.
I've never seen it.
It's filthy. You shouldn't watch it. But the role he played just hysterical. Yeah. Anyway,
okay,
good stuff.
All right.
That movie with Sandra Bullock, it's The Lost City.
The Lost City
With Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum and Brad Pitt.
dude, it's hilarious.
Seen it. All right, number 3, Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
Foo Fighters.
Anything,
Foo Fighters.
anything that dude is in
Catch Me If You Can.
is automatically better.
Well, he was in the Deer Hunter.
That's his probably most famous one.
Constant. Was he in one with Keanu Reeves?
I don't remember.
He played
if
a
was in
villain.
Constantine.
He played a villain in some demon thing way back when.
Oh yeah, that Apocalypse. No, it's I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway,
And what's his name played?
that's when I first I was like, who is that guy?
Viggo Mortensen played Lucifer in that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has like
That's a long time ago. It was like
Yeah.
90s, right?
one scene.
Yeah.
What movie was that?
Can't remember it.
The
It's not The Advocate.
I don't know. Go on to your next one.
No.
I'll look it up.
But anyway, like even like to the comedy stuff, Joe Dirt. He was hilarious in that. He was the janitor, and every movie that he's in, he makes it better. Suicide Kings and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played Gabriel, the angel Gabriel, in The Prophecy in
Prophecy.
1995.
A Prophecy.
That was a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wicked.
Dude, I just thought of another guy that I should have thought of earlier. Go ahead.
Number 2, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
That
good.
dude, Platoon.
Platoon, he played like the craziest, like smoke it up hippie Marine ever.
Yeah, it was good.
And then
He was the bad guy in Die Hard 2. He was the Green Goblin in the original Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah, he had some good roles.
And then came back in one of the latest Spider-Man where all 3 of them were there.
Oh yeah, he was back in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
shoot, now I can't think of the movie that I mainly picked him
Oh,
for.
sorry.
He was in
That's the one with the 2 Irish guys,
Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
And there was a firefight.
He was good in that until he became a cross-dresser.
Right.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming either, but he played a fruity detective pretty darn well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And then number 1, we actually hit it up, Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, that dude.
There's just, and we've talked about it before. Just that Inglourious Bastards, that opening scene is incredible.
That and the ending of that. He's
That whole thing.
Yeah.
Anytime he's got a speaking role in that thing, when he's in the theater and he's questioning,
that's a bingo.
yeah, that's a bingo.
Yeah, it's good.
But that opening scene of if somebody were to say, "Hey, does cinematography make a difference in the
Yes.
tension of a film?" I would show them
100%. Yeah.
I would just show them that.
But it's so funny how, like, when he's speaking, just questioning somebody or playing a serious role, where he goes from like this smiling, like I'm joking around, to then just drop dead serious.
Yeah.
Like the way he can just change the feel of a scene and take you up and down with him is pretty interesting.
Honorable mention, John Turturro. That dude.
Oh yeah.
Another
So,
one like Philip
John-
Seymour Hoffman, very serious, but his role in Deeds with Adam Sandler.
Snicky.
And The Big Lebowski. That dude he plays in The Big Lebowski.
Oh brother.
He's in Oh Brother. Yeah.
So John Turturro and Christopher Walken are in that series on Apple Plus that y'all probably hadn't seen.
Yeah, I don't have Apple Plus.
Fantastic.
Anger. He was in Anger Management too.
With
I can't quote any of the stuff from his Big Lebowski deal, but man, that dude cracked me up in that movie.
The Apple Plus it's called Severance.
Oh,
it's where they
fire a bunch of people.
No, they get something in their head fixed, in their brain severed.
Oh,
so when they go through the elevator at their workplace, they go to this life where all they know is work, and then when they leave, they go to a life of all they know is their life outside of work.
Oh yeah,
they're severed from each other basically.
Oh,
it's wicked, man.
Oh,
they're both in that, and they have some fun scenes.
Sounds like an interesting movie that I'd actually, sci-fi wise, that I would watch.
It's a series. It's like eight episodes, I think.
Oh, that's it, man.
It's really good. I mean, they leave it cliffhanging too. Right. So who knows? So the cinematographer for Inglourious Bastards is Robert Richardson. So just thought he needed a shout out since y'all kept talking about his scene there.
It was fantastic.
All right. Well, Troy, what's the good word?
The good word,
praise be,
is not that.
Okay.
The good word, it's got to be support.
Oh man, all the way through.
Man, we've been talking about support. And so I want to talk about the little bit of support that Jesus promised the disciples that was coming to help them.
The Comforter.
The Comforter, yes. So when, the disciples, when they were following Jesus on earth, they thought Jesus was when are you going to take over the temple, right? When are we going to do this? When are we going to take up arms and go take what's rightfully yours and ours, right? But Jesus had other plans. And so none of them really knew that he was going to die and all that. They thought he was going to be king and live on. And but yeah, he kept telling them. He told them more than once, hey, don't worry. There is a comforter. The Holy Spirit is going to come, and he's going to support you. He's going to be the one that helps you, know what to say when you need to say it. I think Matt touched on the gut feeling. I think a lot of times for believers, that gut feeling is the nudge. You feel that nudge from the Holy Spirit. It's like, oh man, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is the right thing to do, or maybe I ought to not do that, whichever way it comes, So, so the support for believers is the Holy Spirit, and the way to get that support is to believe in Jesus, and that's all you have to do.
Yeah, and Jesus talks about that in John chapter 14, verse 15, verse 16. It says, I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to help you and to be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. The world cannot accept him because it neither sees him nor knows him, but you know him, for he lives within you and will be in you. He will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you. Before long, the world will not see me anymore, but you will see me because I live. You also will live. So that's when he's talking about, hey, there is a comforter coming. There's someone that's going to come and be with you even after I leave.
Yep.
The great support.
That's the good word. Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.